Hi bag builders, it's Diane from Spencer Ogg Sewing Patterns. Thanks for joining me. Today I wanted to introduce you to the Copious credit card wallet. So it's a wallet actually inspired by one of my testers because she wanted something to hold all her extra store loyalty cards and credit cards, but also wanted somewhere to hold a trolley token. So when we go to the shops and we need a token for the trolleys, we're not hunting around in the bottom of our bags having forgotten our pound coin or euro or whatever it is. So hence I've come up with this. So each slot will hold 3 to 4 credit cards, if not more. The top will hold another couple of credit cards along with some cash, notes, so that will slot nicely inside. And then on the front we have a little pocket just for your trolley token, so you never have to forget that. Just slips nicely inside, and you can make this with or without poppers. It works also without a popper on the front. It'll still stay in there once you've got your credit cards in. And also I've given an option to add a tag at the top so you can turn it into a luggage tag. Also you could try it as a lanyard. Works like that too. I've made it so that it fits neatly inside the compact accordion wallet. It will actually fit in any of my wallets, any of the patterns there, so you can just slip it in and out. So when you want to take your extra cards to the store, then it's there handy. You can just pick it off the side and drop it into your wallet. It's developed specifically for domestic machines. It never gets more than 4 layers thick in any one place. I'm always conscious of that. There are further options though. If you do have an industrial, you can put extra card slots on there. They make a great gift for a man or a woman or yourself. Materials suitable for this project are anything that doesn't fray. So I've used cork in the tutorial today, but you can use leather, you can use vinyl, even oilcloth from a laminated tablecloth. So just scroll down to find the link to the pattern pieces and let's dive right in. So go right ahead and download your PDF pattern piece. So it's all on one sheet. You'll find all the pieces there together. Print it at 100% size or actual size, and you will find a 1-inch square checkbox on there. So do measure that to make sure it measures 1 inch in both directions before you start. There is a YouTube video on my channel to help you with sizing and resizing PDF patterns should you need it. You'll also find a grain line on the sheet of paper, and if your fabric does have a grain or a discernible grain, just make sure that's lying in the same direction for each of your pieces. So before you start cutting, just decide on your coin pocket and which coin pocket you'd like to attach. So today I'm going to use the tall coin pocket, and that has a cam snap attached, but you could also choose the short coin pocket which doesn't have a cam snap attached. Your coin still stays in there, it's fine, but I'll do the full version today for you. And also choose whether you want to add a luggage strap. So I've gone ahead and cut my pieces. So I have 2 outer pieces, piece A. I have 2 card slot pieces, piece B. I've cut the tall coin pocket, to which I'll add a cam snap, and I've also cut the luggage strap. So we're ready to start sewing. So our first operation is to top stitch the top of our card slots and our outer body pieces. So take both pieces A and both pieces B, so card slots and outer body, and we're just going to stitch along that top edge of each. Now I put a Microtex needle on my machine because I'm stitching with cork, but just a universal needle is fine with cork. It's really nice to sew with. You won't have any problems. I am using a walking foot on the machine, but again with cork you shouldn't need it. If you're using vinyl or leather, yes, do use a walking foot, but cork behaves very much like fabric and it's really nice to sew with. So let's just stitch across the top edge of each of those. Back stitch at beginning and end, or lock stitch. If you are getting a bit of a pink glare off the table, I apologise. It is my hair, it's lockdown frivolity. My son says I look, well, I thought I looked young and trendy, but my son says I look more like Pennywise the Clown. Thank you, son. Keep trimming. Trim all your ends off every time you do a seam for a line of stitching, and then you don't have to worry about it at the end. And there my pieces top stitched, ready for the next operation. If you're adding snaps or plastic snaps to your project, then this is the time to add them. I've chosen the correct colour, or a suitable colour, a nice contrasting one for me. As ever, from my box of snaps, I dread ever dropping that because I don't know what I'll do. And I've got my tools to apply them. I'll need 2 sets of snaps for this project. So I need a set of snaps for the luggage strap if I'm adding it, and I need a set of snaps to attach the tall coin pocket to the card slot. So I've got my 2 sets. I've made sure I've got a top and bottom for each. So with these plastic poppers, it's the same cap for each, but you've got a top and a bottom, or a male and a female inside. So very simply, I've put a pink dot on the pattern piece to indicate the position for those poppers. So all you need to do is just lay your pattern piece on top and use your pokey tool, that's a very technical tool, to poke a hole through, ready to accept your snap. So I'll do my luggage tag first, on my luggage strap, poke a hole through both sides. And apply the snap to both sides. It's the cap side you want on the outside of the fabric, on the right side of the fabric. So push your caps in first so you know they're in the right place. And then apply your top and bottom. So I'll just pop that on. Drop it into my tool. If you do need some help with applying snaps, by the way, there is an extra video on my YouTube channel just about how to use them and how to apply them. Just squeeze. They are really handy, I've got to say. I'm using them non-stop now. They're so easy to apply. So that's my luggage strap done. So that'll pop nicely into place, and I just need to attach that to the top. And then I'll do my coin pocket. So again, holding the pattern piece on there. Push my pointy tool through the pink dot. There. And push one side of my cap through. Again, cap to the right side of the fabric. I'll put that one on. That one applied, and then the other side of that goes onto one of your card slot pockets. So just take one, again, hold your pattern piece on, push pointy tool through. Now this time we want the cap on the wrong side because we're going to fasten this onto there. So we want the cap on the wrong side of the fabric for this one. And the other side there. Into the squishing machine. And there we go, that's all my poppers applied. So I'm just going to pop that pocket on there because that will help hold it in place while we stitch it on. If you used the short pocket without the popper, then that's fine, just place it on top, ready to stitch that on. So with our poppers attached, time for a little stitching. I am going to first attach my luggage strap to one of my outer pieces. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to attach it centrally just across the back there. Now, if you wanted to, you could have attached this along with the top stitching right at the beginning, but I prefer to just put a nice strong bar tack in there. So I'll just pass that through my machine. So you can go over that a couple of times just to give it a bit of added strength. So that's our popper attached. And now I'm going to attach my coin pocket to my first card slot. So in this case I've got a popper on and it's going to hold it more or less in place, but you can add a little bit of double-sided tape just to the bottom if you want to. Certainly if you're using the pocket that doesn't have the popper on, that'd help. I'd just keep it really low down so it's in right at the bottom of the coin pocket. So we're just placing that centrally. If you put the popper, that'll position it for you, but just make sure it's nice and straight. If you're using the short coin pocket, then just position it centrally within the panel. And that'll hold it nice and straight there. So I'm now going to stitch that just around 3 sides. So I'll begin and end well below the popper and then just towards the top here where it just starts to curve. So I'll top stitch attach that. My top stitching is about 3mm away or 1/8 of an inch away from the edge each time. Go nice and slow. When you get to the corners, you can just turn it fractionally, give it an extra stitch, turn it again. Trim it up. And there's your coin pocket attached. So we're about halfway there. This really is a nice, fun, quick and easy project. There's not even time for a cup of tea and a biscuit like there normally is in my project, so let's just soldier on. We're nearly there, honestly. So take your 2 outer panels and place them wrong sides together. Clip those in place. So line them up really, really nicely. Because we've got raw edges on this project, we're not cutting them afterwards. You can trim them up afterwards, but it's better if you can get them really precise to start with. There we go. Oh, I've broken a clip. That doesn't happen very often. There we go. And then I'm going to lay my first pocket on top, and I'm going to lay it centrally. There. So the long edge of that pocket is going to be central across the body. So it's 1.5 centimeters at either side. I'll have to look up what that is in inches. I'll put a message on screen and mark that centrally. So you can see that is now sitting in the centre along that long edge. And then I'm going to take that to the machine and I'm just going to stitch along the bottom edge of the credit card pocket just to hold that in place. And what that will also do is that'll go all the way through to the back. So if you're using that central pocket inside, it'll make sure that nothing drops down too far. Again, we're just top stitching 3mm, 1/8 of an inch from the edge. You can see that's just the bottom of the pocket top stitch, and if you turn it over you can see it goes through to the back, and that'll stop credit cards or pound notes, how old am I? Dollar bills, £10 notes falling down too far inside the middle pocket. So next we are going to attach the second pocket. So take your one with the pocket on, with your coin pocket on, and just line that up again with all your edges. So that one is going to sit along the very bottom of your unit. So that's going to clip that in place. Make sure your sides are all lined up neatly. So just check everything is in line. We don't want to have to trim it if we don't have to. So everything is lined up, and that front pocket or that front credit card pocket is lined up against the bottom edge. And now I'm going to take that to the machine and I'm going to stitch all the way around 3 sides. So side, bottom and other side. If you do want to enclose that strap, by the way, if you're making it into a lanyard or something, you can do. You can stitch around all 4 sides and leave off the top stitching to start with. But I'm just going to stitch the 3 sides so I've still got a pocket inside. Back stitch beginning and end, just so you know you've got a nice firm secure hold. Trim up, and there we go, it's virtually finished. We'll just tidy that up. So there we have it, it's finished. If you have any loose threads, trim them off, make it look as tidy as possible. And then if you have any edges just sticking out, so you see at the bottom I've got a couple of little bits there just showing. Or on the side, you can see a fraction on the side there. You can trim it up with a rotary cutter and just take a fraction off all the way around or just off the sides. I'll just use a pair of scissors and see, just to take off that tiniest amount there on the side. Just so it lines up exactly. It's nice. A tiny bit on the bottom. There we go, perfect. And then what you can do if you wish, it's completely optional, is just nick a corner off the bottom edges, just the tiniest amount. See that? Just to give it a little shaped appearance, just an extra bit of character, you can see. And there you go, that's your wallet finished. So stack it up with your cards. As I say, you can get multiple credit cards in each of those slots. Put your trolley token in the front. You can add more credit cards to the central pocket, or you can add notes. Look at me, rich today. Pop those in there, hiding them away. And then you can open the popper, hang it onto your bag strap. Just pop it inside your bag. And just as an aside, I'm right-handed, so I've made those with the credit card slots opening to the right, or easier to access from the right. If you are left-handed, all you need to do is use your pattern pieces upside down when you cut out your fabrics, and they'll open in the other direction, so it's easier for a left-handed person to pull the credit cards out. So that's an easy tip. Also, just to finish it off with very professional finish, you could add edge coat to the edges. I also know people often use a Sharpie to finish the edges, just to add a bit of colour. I'm quite happy with it as it is. I wouldn't do anything to it. So just a couple of extra options are that you can also add a slit across the back panel to form another pocket to add more credit cards in there. If you're using an industrial machine or a more powerful domestic, obviously because I always use domestics and I'm always very conscious of making patterns for domestics, I try to keep the layers to a minimum. But if you do have a more powerful machine, you can put more credit card pockets on the back too. So go make many, show me what you've made. I love to see your makes. Do join my Facebook sewing group and post your pictures of everything. The link's below. And if you've enjoyed the tutorial today, please do subscribe to my channel. There's always lots of new content. What are you waiting for? Go sew!